Midweek kudos to you on a Wednesday for getting in early. It is Wednesday, and we're talking about the government's right to repair acronyms, Rivian and showrooms, and AI images just going hard.
The people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me.
See, Cirillo, it's like after 3 days of doing the bop in, right? Starts to get where you get that vibe. You know, we were talking about it yesterday. It's like it's a little bit hard to get there. Hit the drop today.
I mean, you're by the end of this week, you will be Eminem.
I don't know if that's like, yeah, that sounds great, or like I'm gonna have to grow a dad bod gut to do that by the end of the week. Eat a couple extra, Kit Kat
that's not gonna work. Not with you running all those hills.
No. So just so the people know, my family and I moved houses, and I'm a big runner, and the house that I had before, where it was like all flat. Everything was flat. I could run for miles, like probably get 10 miles in and do like a little one hill. My new house is like just like Bob Hills. It's unbelievable. So I'm claiming the greatest calves ever in like 2 months or something like that. So
you're going to be like the reverse. Unless you get some arms in, you're going to be the reverse of those like beach body dudes that have chicken legs. And
that's it too, because me and lifting just doesn't go hand in hand. So
you're going to be wearing size 42 jeans,
just
and medium shirts,
schmediums. Definitely schmediums. Oh, man. All right. We've got a couple things coming in today. You're going to want to take a look at our ASOTU Edge webinar today at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't signed up for it, go to asotu.com. You can check out revolutionizing the car buying experience with a connected auto retailing platform. Thanks to our friends Upstart for helping us put on that webinar. And then make sure you get those ASOTUCon tickets. Hey, first speaker announcement is going out today, and the people are really going to want to pay attention. So keep the old LinkedIn up so that you can follow along on that. And if you're watching the video, you can scan the QR code that was just on the video. You can scroll back a minute and get the old ticket link and all that. Yesterday we were on with some of our team just talking about the space and the environment. And I think at some point someone said something to the effect of, we just want people to be like, what's going on here? So that's the vibe we're trying to create when you get to ASOTUCon.
Just glitching out over all the things. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of glitching out.
Segue.
Time.
You don't need any glitching out around here anymore, because there is a new agreement for automotive right to repair between automakers and independent repair shops. The updated commitment affirms the previous 2014 memo of understanding and includes telematics data. So all this comes after, if you were following along years ago, when right to repair was really heavy and a lot of people were talking about it with phones, all of the government actions actually applied to vehicle repairs as well. A lot of independent repair shops were concerned about their ability to repair vehicles that are under warranty or recalls, or get telematics information to perform software updates. Recently, the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, the Automotive Service Association, and the Society of Collision Repair Specialists, which who know all those existed, said that the deal means that repair shops will have the access to the same diagnostic and repair information as authorized dealer networks, and covers all vehicle technologies, including battery electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, and FCVs, which I can't remember what FCV means, but basically every vehicle, fuel vehicles.
Fuel cell
vehicles. Sorry. So basically what that means is, and a lot of people in the retail automotive space have been talking about this as this like ability for dealers to have a leg up on repairing vehicles, especially as more EVs come out. And this starts to allow independent shops. So you no longer have this like just baked in retention mechanism, because automakers are going to allow all independent shops to have access to the tools and the technologies necessary to repair these cars. So just a heads up on like the retail side, it's not just a baked in retention tool moving to EVs.
Interesting. I don't know why. Also, I immediately, when I hear the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, the Automotive Service Association, and Society of Collision Repair, I immediately say, who coordinates the uniforms? Like, there's got to be a costume for this.
So, yeah, someone please tell us who coordinates the uniforms. The other piece that's really fun about this, and we'll kind of read these off. But there are basically two bills that go into Congress, and this is like, you'll get a kick out of this. So they've got the Repair Act and the Smart Act. Now, it takes like a special level of acronym, like street smarts, to create an act around the right to repair that's called the Repair Act that also utilizes repair as an acronym, which is the right to equitable and professional auto industry repair. Like, someone sat in the room way too long. But basically that mandates owners and independent shops have the same access to tools and data as the dealer network. And then the Smart Act reduces the time automakers can enforce patents on collision repair parts against aftermarket parts suppliers from 14 to 2.5 years. So patents to go to aftermarket is a lot slimmer as well. Really pretty wild that we're seeing this kind of big shift, and I think it's something that like auto dealers should be really heavily paying attention to.
There's got to be like a bat phone in the SNL writing room, and it's just for politicians. They're like, we need a new act, and it has to do with repairing cars, and we need something clever. And they, because like repair, like you and I both forgot FCV.
Right.
I'm not kidding you. My best idea was futuristic clown vegetarians.
Yeah, that was like the closest thing to mind. Exactly. Yeah. Repair. Make that an acronym. What?
Oh, well, of course. Right to equitable and professional auto industry repair.
Absolutely. That makes a whole ton of sense. Hey, speaking of making a whole ton of sense.
Segue.
In a wild move, as EV adoption continues its slow growth, Rivian is using a familiar tactic to get their trucks in front of customers. You're never gonna guess this one, Cirillo. You're never gonna guess it.
Yeah,
They're opening its first Spaces showroom in Vancouver. So wild new thing, I know, mind-boggling. They're putting a dealership in Vancouver to sell their cars.
You know what would be a good idea? Let's put our first showroom in a place where people aren't allowed to work.
Perfect. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's make 30% less on our money.
So here it is. The dealership is going to be located at the amazing Brentwood Shopping Mall and is part of Rivian's goal of increasing its physical retail space. Basically, all the spaces are going to be extremely casual with no hard selling, is what they've said. So I don't know how you create a showroom to sell things with no selling, but they're gonna be the first ones to figure that out. And they are planning on having these spaces, as they're named, in New York City, Austin, Laguna Beach, California, and obviously the Vancouver location. There'll be like unique spaces, some featuring whole green areas, augmented reality, or even they've bought out an old theater and building it out of that. So Rivian is definitely attempting to approach the market, still having trouble selling some of their trucks and recognizing that the showroom approach actually does work, where all online isn't the only option. In the future here, they are expecting to come out with an R2 series truck, which is similar to the size of the Ford Maverick, and it'll be priced almost $30,000 cheaper than the R1. So going back into the value market with dealerships. Who'd have thunk it?
I mean, here we are again. We talked about it on yesterday's show. It's like things never end up the way that we think. And everybody's like, all online, metaverse. You're going to buy a car from an avatar wearing a gorilla costume. And that's going to be the future. And now here we are where they're like, maybe we need in-person experiences.
There you go. Well, speaking of avatars wearing gorilla costumes.
Segue.
That was you. I couldn't have planned that better. Just as like you crushed. I don't know if you read ahead or you were just messing around. That was unbelievable.
I'm actually sitting here wondering how you have the best segues ever.
In a contrast to other image sharing platforms, Shutterstock is going to be all in on AI, extending its partnership with OpenAI, the creator of DALL-E and ChatGPT. Basically, they have OpenAI has been training DALL-E since 2021 on Shutterstock's library, but they're extending that agreement. Shutterstock is also adding OpenAI's image generator into its website. So they are banning the sale of AI images that weren't created with DALL-E on their platform. They've even created a contributor fund to compensate artists where their art is being used to train the model. So they're doing a really good job at like honoring artists, honoring what the AI artwork that's being generated gets, how it gets monetized on their platform, and also informing an OpenAI solution for users not on Shutterstock. Also, if you didn't know, Shutterstock bought Giphy from Meta, I think earlier this year, and they're going to bring AI image generation to Giphy, which, look, in the Asoduverse, we're going to be all over. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a heyday. And I mean, well, this is interesting because this is a loose tie-in to one of our stories earlier this week about Sarah Silverman and what are the implications of OpenAI and sourcing people's manuscripts and things of that nature. And now on the flip side of it, in kind of a similar way, we have a company with access to all of this, royalty-free, artist-friendly stuff, figuring out a way to say, hey, but we can make this equitable for all parties.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big deal because there's still a lot, from images to text on training AIs. I mean, we've seen it with places like Reddit starting to shut down because of the changes in their API structure. That there's still a lot of question marks on how AI gets trained, how it gets utilized, what those images, how that gets monetized. And so kudos to Shutterstock for doing that. But hey, this is also just like, if you're thinking, hey, I'm a dealer, why does this matter to me? It's like, hey, there are resources out there to create extremely dynamic, well-trained images, and maybe there's a use case for creating marketing or website material that's based on AI image generation. I've seen uses where like putting a truck or a car in a certain scenario, when you don't have access to that quickly, it's getting really, really good. So enough with like the random family stock image, holding the keys in front of the car on the header of the website. Like, we've got access to tools that are changing the game there. So watch out for more images.
Yeah, I mean,
generated by AI.
Think of all of the things we're talking about in the year 2023. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And just for those that are curious, I mean, think about it this way. It's going to take, historically, it's taken 20, 30, 40 years for things to fully materialize the way that we've conceptualized them. We're talking all about AI, how artificial intelligence is getting trained. There's the FAA, or is it? Yeah, the FAA has just approved a prototype for a flying car.
Right.
And I don't think it's ironic that George Jetson was born on July 31st last year.
Yo, that's nuts.
He's 42 when the show takes place, and I'm 40 years flying cars up in space, building sprockets.
I think we're starting to see it. I think we're starting to see the changes. Well, hey, if you're not starting to see the changes, then keep your eyes up, but keep your hands in the dirt, because still today's a Wednesday and we can't change what happens 42 days in the future. So care for your employees, care for your customers. Today's important.